Okie dokie, guys. So obviously this is a huge series with huge implications. In the last iteration of this matchup, we didn't read too much into it because it was just week one of competition, guys. And with all the changes that were coming in, teams coming off of breaks, yes, GenG won 2-1, but it was a little bit sloppy, you know. Maybe it wasn't the best series played. And so this is the highly anticipated rematch, probably a preview of the finals. And we've got two teams that have, you know, relatively different styles. Like you can see the Zeri ban coming in here because this is a champion that Gumayushi has never really been good at. And we've seen Pays absolutely dominate on. A lot of GenG's play has been characterized by Maokai and Sejuani in the jungle position for Canyon, but he's been diversifying a little bit more recently. And then on this side, Faker has been dominant on Orianna. Remember, there is no Azir on this patch, so that's been one of Faker's champions that he's not going to be able to fall back on. Same with Chovy, though. Chovy is a very famous Azir player himself. Now they're going to take the Ashe and the Senna away to really prevent the bot lane from doing much. Now, this could mean, of course, a Varus first pick. Varus has been a big priority. You know, double AD carries for T1, very popular in the bot lane. So it could be a Varus. That gives you a sense of where this series is going. Battle for the #1 position. And not only in LCK, but arguably in the world, right? Whoever wins this series is going to be considered probably the best team in the world, considering that BLG has been tripped up recently by IG in LPL. So we're going to see Lucian coming out immediately, and interestingly countered by Aphelios. They're going to take the Rel. This has been another champion that has been picked up pretty consistently by Canyon on this team, in this new roster. Jace, okay. Yeah. Jace is a flex pick for T1, but obviously Zeus, the more famous Jace player compared to Faker. Faker has been pretty much on control mages throughout this entire split. Might be taking Nico here. He's been playing Corki, obviously. Lulu Aphelios, very classic, very safe lane, farming lane in the bot side. Does show that Rel is going into the jungle position. They're going to ban the Vi, single target lockdown for Aphelios. Grog is going to be banned here just because it is a good matchup into Jason top lane. No Nico. Okay, so we're going to see what Faker plays. No Talia for Chovy. Talia, very powerful champion right now. They're going to take Cassante, save their mid pick for counter. J4 into Aphelios. Again, very good single target lockdown in the backline, but you do have wild growth to prevent, you know, to provide some counter engage. And LeBlanc. I think this is Faker's first game of LeBlanc this year. Obviously, historically, an insane LeBlanc player. Also remember with GenG that Cassante is a flex pick into the mid lane. So it was definitely something that they were considering putting into the mid lane. Probably not going to do it versus LeBlanc, and it will just be a Corki pickup instead. LeBlanc is interesting here. I am kind of surprised they didn't go like full poke comp with the Corki.
But in this matchup, definitely going to be a advantage in the early laning pressure to come through here from Faker. Do also expect this to be the AP LeBlanc.
Yeah, they do have, so to talk about this, they do have in T1 some advantages in the bot side. Like, obviously, they're going to get some pressure down early with Lucian Nami. They're hoping to get that with the LeBlanc in the mid lane as well. Thank you, Ariel J and Talsifer, for your subscriptions. I appreciate that. Did I see the double lift dodo drama? Yeah, you can't trust what double lift says, guys. There's definitely another side. Anytime double lift tells a story, guys, there is another side to that story, I promise you. Fortune 49.
We'll see if they can control that early game, or will GenG scale up as we hop into the rift for game #1. T1, 하나, 둘, 셋. T1, fighting! GenG, 하나, 둘, 셋.
GenG, fighting!
I do love how they started doing the fan cheers while there haven't been fans in the arena.
Fans are out in force tonight, as this is a big matchup between T1 and GenG.
How does Jarvan Jace play this top side? Not well.
6 more that we're going to get in upper finals and grand finals, and then upper finals and grand finals, plus the 2 extra summer round robin matchups.
Surely a team will rise up and match them.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it looks like Hama Life Esports would be the team to do it, but...
Thank you, World Funeral, for your YouTube membership. I appreciate that. What is my favorite LoL player of all time? Score.
We'll see.
Jungler for
Maybe a
KT.
patch can help. No, I don't think a patch is going to be enough.
Although I gotta say, Keen's getting there.
Right now,
Keen's my favorite active player.
So some of the tech that we see here, Pace has gone for barrier as well as PT.
The Jarvan pick is very specifically probably targeting the Aphelios for lockdown, but it's hard to actually burst. The problem is that it's hard to burst the Aphelios because you have kind of a poke composition and wild growth exists, right? So seems difficult. And you can't do anything to the Cassante because he can get out of Jarvan ults. Like, you can't gank him with Jarvan. So
to just scale into a big mid-game threat as soon as possible. So we do see the early trading coming through here, and this is why the Lulu, I think, really has risen up in prominence. Even though Milio at the time was enough to withstand with the extra range, Lulu, it's just a straight-up lane bully this early on.
See level 2 about to be hit here first for the GenG bottom lane, so they're going to move forward. And Slow comes down on the Guma. That's going to force a cleanse and heal already. Of course, Lehens did heal to try to get in there. And nowadays, it's just so tense down in the bottom lane, especially when you get like 480 carry lanes. But even
you're studying Coptic, Attila? Scholarly Gnostic materials? No, I'm not going to have time to read them, unfortunately. Does sound very interesting, though.
Towards opposite sides. I don't think there's really a great diving opportunity for either because both way, or at least
besides Emily Wilson, Najafan, you can read Robert Fagels. There's another translation.
If he tries to play for blades. On the bot side, though, Lehens and Pace still have the lead.
So many KT junglers to pick, and he picked Score. Score was the KT jungler. He's the most KT of KT junglers.
That is a risk here from Guma and Carrier.
Yeah, especially down a couple summoners, but they do get the barrier out of Paze, and so that is going to even it up. Of course, Lucian Nami can always be very aggressive. Trying to do that before Paze gets many items is going to be nice, but so far things are going pretty well for Paze and Lehens. It was kind of crazy, too. We saw the played stats of this split so far. This is Faker's first game of LeBlanc all year, which obviously very well known for this pick. But he's played a lot of other...
It is interesting that he is now going to LeBlanc on this patch with the Azir unavailable and I guess not willing to pick Corki. So we have mirrored jungling on the side of GenG and T1. So just full clear into crabs for both junglers. Very low action early game.
Get to see blind pick LeBlancs. Arias come back, although that's obviously also testament to the buffs that she did receive. And we do see neither jungler really finding any opportunity here. GenG didn't find an opportunity to stack a big wave, so Canyon just ends up backing instead. Same for Owner, although he did put up another Raptor ward, meaning that they should be able to find what will happen to that pathing of Canyon. The first plate is taken here by Paze and lands. Owner looking for someone, but there is a ward in the Tri-Brush show. And with flashes still available especially, I think Paze and lands are still going to feel quite safe. We don't see any action just yet.
Yeah. As Zeus, 24-7 on the Jace. Definitely one of our guys that will blind pick the Jace. And be
Isn't T1 bot lane supposed to be winning? I mean, yes. The thing is, though, with Lulu Aphelios is that Lulu provides a lot of the shielding and counter harass on some of the bursts that they try and do. Like, if you try and dash in with Lucian, you get polyed. So, you know, it doesn't lose as hard as other lane matchups.
Especially when the ultimates are available for both junglers.
Like, Lulu is good
Bot lane here is kind of conditional
into
really hard.
Lucian Nami.
Bubble specifically, you can't start a fight the way you do with something like a Nautilus whenever you please. But both Owner's ultimate, once he has it available now, is just going to guarantee trap lands. No way out for him. Same for Carry Out without a flash. Canyon does have a great opportunity to get on top of this Nami, as we do have the jungle or the Dragon Rider being started. Pace is on the back, so will Carry Out. Owner, yeah, he He had an inkling. I think Canyon actually showed up there, and they're going to say thanks for the leash. Will be a big win if GenG can get an early dragon here, given that they do have a composition that scales very comfortably, courtesy of Pays and Lahens in his bot side.
Yeah, even a singular mountain dragon.
It feels great if you're GenG right now.
But for
You really haven't gotten pushed in at all early. Corki going Hexdrinker first is AP LeBlanc.
GenG is Toby's just not allowing Faker to go back. This has been denied a couple of times already. So bottom lane going pretty swell. The jungle obviously going in favor of Canyon so far, and the mid lane as well. It's pretty even at this point. I mean, it is a Corki, but Faker is slightly behind in terms of CS.
Why would you take Blue Smite instead of Green Smite with Jarvan? Because you want to create picks with LeBlanc and actually have a faster form of engage. I don't think T1 wants to play for a front-to-back 5v5, guys. I think you just lose that.
The thing of legends. Cool to see it come back here again.
Okay.
I was about to go and talk about T1.
Well, we did just...
That they don't necessarily
it's very fast pause.
completely take over the game in laning phase.
All right. Well, we did just have an in-game visual bug. No big deal. And we are right back into the action. As once again, here in this game, T1 with a very slight lead in terms of gold, but overall a very even game, and GenG did just get a couple of objectives, so feeling pretty good about picking up that early mountain drink.
As mentioned, T1 are going to be looking to accelerate the game. Not that they don't have a decent amount of power in the later stages of the game when it comes to things like the Jace. Having a ton of range can be really tough to play into. The engage is good, but it is just Owner who, as the game progresses, might struggle as big bubble.
Yeah, even the barrier out of Pays as well, and the second that goes down, immediately Guma is just going to fire forward and do a bunch of damage. So big win for T1 on the bottom side.
Guma dinged 6 right there. If he had more mana, I wouldn't have been surprised if he looked for an all-in there, but they didn't want to risk it. They also knew that Canyon was towards the bot side of the map, did sneak away a red buff there. Owner now 6 as well, but the flash on Lahens still down. That is big. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Owner try and make a visit as we have a possible topside gank.
Did I have spam problems on YouTube that is subscribers only? No. Subscribe to my channel, though.
That one out. Now we have the Ghost coming out, all out used as well, and Zeus not going to be able to flash away from this one. It's first blood given over to Key.
Don't understand the Jace pick third. Was that supposed to be a Faker pick and you didn't want to play into the Corki matchup? No, it was almost certainly a Zeus pick. Just because that's who Zeus is.
Yeah, we did just see Keen kind of bait that one out. Now we have the Ghost coming out, all out used as well, and Zeus not going to be able to flash away from this one. It's first blood given over to Keen in the top lane. Excellently set up.
That'll erase the CS difference and plate difference that has occurred in the top side. Very, very awkward grub trade. So they each have a grub apiece right now, and they're finally going to clear the first camp. Doesn't leave very long, though, to take the grubs next time after they respawn.
And this early game thus far really going GenG's way.
Monty, come play Flesh and Blood with Doa, you coward. I'm in Korea.
Is here, so we should be safe.
I would love to.
I mean, look at the way he handles this, though. Pushes away, baits him in. There's no
Flesh and Blood's a good game.
And leading with all out means
Maybe when I get back to the States, I'll be able to do that.
Nicely done. No opportunity for Zays to outplay that one, except not be up. But with Jace, you're always going to want to try and play as aggressive. Also,
I mean, I like this draft for GenG because Cassante is a flex pick for them on red side. So that's pretty nice. And Cassante is a very annoying champion if you're playing against GenG.
He does elect to just knock him away, and there's the flash, but he uses it right into the W.
Oh, no.
The Cole also was able to pick up an early plate.
I mean, Canyon's just torturing him in the top side, even though he has a ward. He's trying to get plates.
Might have to use it here. As
Smite. He dodges Q.
He does elect to just knock him away, and there's the
Oh,
flash,
boy.
but he uses it right into the W of the Cassante, and he is just absolutely dead as the return gank comes through from Canyon, and it is absolutely successful.
T1 better hope the O2 power spike holds up as well on Jace as it does on Aatrox. The because right now, GenG gonna be feeling amazing. Canyon, first item.
Yeah, this is the nerfed. This is the nerfed version of Cassante too.
And I have no doubt that that's gonna be put straight on top of Pace in a attempt to keep that man alive. Corki obviously also really essential to the damage profile of GenG, but he is Corki, so his life is a lot easier.
But I still think it's strong when it's a flex pick on red side, because then you can get your preferred matchups.
Grave concern, but I do think they have to start either stacking dragons, pick up some early grubs when they respawn, or get towards a herald. Because if they just let this game go to mid to late with GenG in their pure comfort zone, with great engage, and a Felios Corki. Yeah, I know that one.
I mean,
Played with GenG in their pure comfort zone, with great engage, and a Felios Corki. Yeah, I know that one.
I mean, there have been like back and forths in the bottom lane and stuff, but the early game impact from Canyon has been huge. Speaking of which, he comes down bot to give Knight's Vow, and also just to make his presence felt, as they are going to try to make a play for this dragon, no doubt, here in 12 seconds. Chovy has the package, and this should be a pretty nice setup for GenG, you would imagine. Especially with the backing here of Guma and Karya, taking a massive amount of damage just to try to fight for a control ward. Not going to feel good about that one.
Canyon.
All right, so here we go, Drake number 2. Pretty early Drake snowball, especially for an Aphelios Lulu lane.
Gang's Keen already sitting on a completed item, as well as the steel caps. Quite strong owner might look for a steal here.
Keen setting up to possibly TP. Keen has TP, Zeus does not, because he died and had TP back to lane. Yeah, you can't outsmite that. Really clean from GenG so far.
Still, GenG got to be happy about stacking those early drinks.
Chovy not take any risks there. Obviously didn't know whether or not owner was in the brush, so uses his package defensively.
Fight this a little bit, but you see owner uses combo just for harass rather than going in, so not committing to this one.
Yeah, I don't think going for the double sums, Wildgrove, Knights Vowed up pays when they know and Rel is there really is the way to go. So they decide the better of it. Already early Drake stacking for GenG. I was really going into this game thinking that GenG should be happy if they are able to get a single Drake, let alone two. Ocean Soul not going to be the most relevant, although Cassante obviously does enjoy some Ocean Souling from time to time. And for T1, it would actually be quite good to deal with some of the Corki poke if they can pick up
The TL doublelift and Dodo drama. Look, I don't think Dodo's a good GM, guys, but like, that's some fucking doublelift fantasy, man.
Zeus nearly dies. We do have owner up in the top lane, but I don't think you're ever getting second gets the max range knockup.
Like, why would JoJo go to Team Liquid, guys, instead of Cloud9? Tell me why he would have gone. Why would JoJo rather play with Team Liquid's roster than Cloud9's roster? Tell me.
That is painful. Not only so started up on the bot side, great
money
sets up for Canyon.
Okay. Core/impact. I mean, Core has not looked good for a while now, guys.
And I was like, why don't we get?
Plus, like, Blabber is going to have by far the bigger effect on his gameplay.
Starts off with the purple ultimate here, the TP as well. I don't even know if they needed to invest that, but because Faker is on the back, not able to get any pressure in mid, Chovy doesn't really end up paying for it, and then Keen going in here is definitely a big risk, but you know what?
It's just hilarious, especially Cassante getting extra tankiness. That was a very nice play, by the way, to finish it off. From Keen, Zeus not respecting the range of the Cassante in the all-outs. But he's just so tanky. Like, Zeus does 0 damage. He almost
I just think everybody's an idiot in that situation. I mean, Dodo fucking made the terrible TL super team. And now he just, like, uses, like, Harry and Yun and APA for years. Like, the GMing of that team is horrific.
With a composition that has a scaling advantage.
Yeah. You remember the old days of just going for, like, Zeri and an Azir, and you just win the early game anyway. And yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I remember a certain team that was pretty good at doing that,
they were.
and kind of doing it here.
In many
GenG.
iterations as well. This goes back to like 2021.
Yeah. So now Faker gonna match Keen, who doesn't have a lot of MR, but I don't think he really cares.
Yeah, and why is Doublelift leaking this information? Like, what purpose does it serve?
This guy is gigantic at the
You know, you want to stream, dude. You don't want to play LCS anymore. Like,
That's it.
stop.
Well, they got a plate, I guess, on top side. I don't know about the bot side plates, but I do know that Zeus got one. That's about it, though.
Yeah, doesn't really count for much at all. And you see Chovy up a level as well. He did have to go for the Hex Drinker first into the LeBlanc, but other than that, he is very happy about his current state. He does have the most farm on the map. And Lehens is in a very awkward spot. He is Lulu, so maybe he just is fine. He will win the trade with Redemption for now, as Wild Growth does have
Faker.
to be used. Faker flashing the wall to get away from Canyon, as it did kind of turn into a bit of a bait. Lions did have to use.
So it was going to turn into a 4-stack straight into Ocean Soul for GenG, and then nobody ever dies because T1 doesn't have enough damage to kill anybody, especially when they have Ocean Soul. Never going to kill Rel or Cassante or anyone with the Lulu on the roster.
Counterpunch.
Yeah, not sure if this is really going to amount to too much, as immediately TP comes in from Chovy, and that will be stifled.
Oh, he doesn't have TP now for the next dragon. And he's not super strong, only sitting on a not finished yet, or not transformed rather, yet Mana Mune, as well as a Hex Drinker. We'll see if GenG
Here's one for you too, guys. It's possible that the other players on Team Liquid didn't want to play with Doublelift. I know this will blow your mind, but, you know, Dodo might just have had to have been the bad guy and been like, no, we don't want you. But he could have gotten feedback from literally other players who have played with Doublelift previously who are like, no, we don't want to play with that guy.
For anyone who's AD, which is 3 people on the side of T1.
How do you know?
He's not in a fed position, and yes, they nearly take Lehens' head off, but he's got heal. He's got his
All right, very nice
back.
poke on Lehens here.
Does not have wild growth, and will have one
It
of
is
these
dangerous for him not having wild growth right now in this fight.
Team. T1 still wrapping around, trying to contest this. Chovy with the package here as well. Faker trying to bait this one out early as some poke does come
Yeah,
out.
they can't fight this when he has the package. Nice engage onto Guma, forces cleanse and flash. Or not flash, just cleanse and dash. Oh, God.
The turret will come out. Canyon looking for the engage. They get the cleanse out of Guma as package immediately out of Faker. He's in so much trouble. Look at his health bar.
I like how the turret just kills Faker.
Will help them out, and Faker immediately is taken down. That'll be a third Drake going to GenG, as T1 will give up on it. And they're looking for a bit more. I mean, Guma's taking maximum damage here as the cube comes down. Guma not going to get all outed here by Keen.
No.
And Keen takes 0 damage, right? He's taking negative damage. He has so much armor.
So Zeus just trades a top lane turret for this eventually. He just TP's top, seeing an opportunity to take the turret, at least to get something done cross map for the trade.
For a bit more. I mean, Guma's taking maximum damage here as the cube comes down. Guma not going to get all outed here by Keen.
No.
And Keen takes 0 damage, right? He's taking negative damage. He has so much armor.
Keen's not even remotely impressed. And going into this fight, I really want to give credit where credit is due. One part of how oppressive GenG's early game has been Canyon is ganks, but Faker being lane locked by Cho.
I don't think he's reading YouTube chat. I am reading YouTube chat.
Been able to just get through this lane for free, gets an absolutely monstrous pass to
I don't have a favorite music genre. I listen to tons of different genres.
At the start of that fight, and it just doesn't matter. He positions safely.
Yeah.
Keen, as mentioned, does not, in fact, take damage. The only person who could, in any universe, damage him died at the start of the fight.
Yeah. Died to package. I mean, Faker just got hit by the slow and...
Journal 27. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub.
Although,
I think T1 should have picked Talia or Nidalee here. Well, they couldn't pick Talia because it was banned.
interesting spot to challenge Chovy's up a level with Mawk.
However, they banned it, so read into that what you will.
That ain't it.
No, that's not happening. Now GenG has Soul Point. 19 minutes in, with a Corki who just transformed his second item.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that we came into this game 1, and I was looking at this T1 comp, and I'm like, they should feel so comfortable. And then Canyon was just like, nah, no, I don't think so, actually. Let me just end this early game in our favor. And it wasn't just a small lead, it's now a bit of trading here on an owner, but they're not going to commit onto a Jarvan. As Rift Herald also coming down, maybe trying to make a play here for this mid-tier 1. See how far they go with this one.
Keen, who I thought was going to be one of the biggest weak points here, just because of how good Zeus has been. Just with the help of Canyon, has been able to...
Chronicler just casually disrespecting Keen.
Also committing onto Keen. I mean, you just immediately die. That's never going to work. As
Yeah, they cannot fight the front-to-back 5 versus 5.
been able to do so much work.
Like, they're trying to engage with the help of the Nami wave, but they don't even really hit anybody.
I thought was going to be one of the biggest weak points here, just because of how good Zeus has been. Just with the help of Canyon, has been able to do so much work.
So their call is, but what are you going to do to this fucking Cassante, man? Like, he doesn't care if he's in Jarvan ult. Canyon just goes into it, tries to zone them out. I mean, they know they've lost this game. Nice bubble.
Here in the mid lane, just continuing to pressure up, and they run out of a wave. Zeus is going to miss the shock blast, and GenG just going to run away from this one. But look at the control that they have. They don't necessarily have to run away from this one unless they want to go towards that Baron. As even at this point, could consider it, but they're just going to back away from it for now.
Keen just doesn't care.
Yeah. No, he doesn't take
Oh, how Faker LeBlanc has fallen. I don't think it's Faker's LeBlanc. I think LeBlanc just isn't the best champion right now. I know some people have done well with it, like, you know, Knight over in LPL, but I'm just not sure it's really the strongest champion at the moment, especially considering that Faker has mostly gotten like very strong control mages this split.
GenG expecting them to have an edge in team fights and mid to late. This is
the game flattening T1 where T1 is strongest.
Yes, and the game isn't over. T1 have been able to make
Oh, it's
miracles
over.
happen, to find incredible team fights. But that has been against
You can't team fight with their composition though. You basically have to hope that you get a lucky pick, or that they like start Baron and it takes a super long time and you just rain Jason LeBlanc poke in on them.
Deal damage, ulting a Cassante.
Hayes has Collector now.
It's never going to work. As Owner now in a bit of trouble. They are keeping hold of this river. There's one.
Is 2024 GenG better than 23 GenG?
I
I mean, they're quite different. We're waiting to see if they're actually better or not. The real test for GenG is obviously going to come at international competition where they need to step up.
Is actually support. Support is the role that gets resources, and you are a utility bot. So he bit the bullet. I don't love Familiar. I don't feel like it's actually needed. Would have much rather seen a different tank item as opposed to Formula.
Yeah, like Locket, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Tank support item.
Looking at what T1 have, I don't think the Grievous Wounds really is of that much value. I feel like you get more value out of even something like a Rend wins, especially with Rel being able to utilize the slow offensively. But at the same time, as long as Pace stays alive, they're going to be fine, and Trophy's about to hit his third item spike.
Yeah.
The only change is Keen and Canyon.
This is T1's.
But, you know, removing Peanut changes their entire shot calling structure. And Lehens is in instead of Delight. But Lehens was previously on GenG with Chovy. But it's mostly Lehens and Chovy and Canyon that have kind of taken over shot calling duties, especially Chovy and Lehens in the mid and late game.
The Ocean Soul is going to help out even more. And you see that GenG is setting up for this one. Keen in the top side. And yes, they can deal damage to the squishies. You see that T1 are trying to do that, but you get close to the sun, you're probably going to get burned, as we did see there. Keen is going to TP pretty early on this one. He's going to take a decent amount of damage. Got to be careful about just taking
They have,
damage.
as soon as they get Ocean Soul, this game is super over. Just not enough damage on T1 side to deal with the Ocean Soul.
Was used early, but now Keen in the front line. Faker trying to get some poke down. Has a ton of damage already in Owner. He's just going to get burned
Yep.
down. Immediately the package comes out as Guma bursts.
He didn't even have a chance to ult.
In the front line, Faker trying to get some
He
poke
doesn't even
down.
have a chance to ult. He comes through, and he immediately just gets stun locked before he can ult.
Burst to a crisp in the back line as one missile could do it, but they don't care about him. They take away Zeus from the map, and Guma is just trying to survive here for as long as possible. One auto would do it. And I think Chovy, yeah, he's just going to clean that one up. Doing the most damage at only 200 or 2,800, and it is a massive wipe in favor of GenG.
No one on GenG.
They kept serial international choker Chovy and gained semi-famous international choker Lehens. How about international choker Keen, the only Korean top laner to lose the best of series to North America in League of Legends history?
Okay, so the poke lends somewhat redemption from Lehens, which he did rush, actually does a lot of heavy lifting. But T1, they know they need to get this soul. Hayes gets taken out of the fight, at least for a little bit, by the combination of Guma, but then Keen just deals with multiple people.
Why do I think GenG have T1's number? Is it well, in this, I don't think you can say it's... I mean, they've changed rosters multiple times, GenG, right? And they keep winning. So I think part of it is just Chovy being incredibly good domestically, right? They also, I mean, GenG also changed coaches. But in this series, it just feels like T1, you know, maybe has a misread on the meta on this patch because the fucking Lucian, Nami, LeBlanc just doesn't, Jace top doesn't do anything. With the Jarvan jungle, it's such a weird composition, and they don't win, they just didn't win any of the lanes. Besides top, but then we saw Zeus die.
At least the objective bounty, the fact that there is an objective bounty kind of shows you where this game is at, as Chovy is 3,500 gold ahead, and that's only Chovy.
That's just Chovy. That's a full item. Has Malignant's done now as well?
Hey, that's like 1.5 frozen.
Is this 14-5? No, it's 14-4.
Koenig Rooker now done for Keen. I could see angles.
Keen is just fucking immortal now with Ocean Soul and Lulu.
You know, I had to stretch it, but
yeah, it's like a 2
and 3 items.
yeah, it's T1. You got to give him the benefit of doubt. Now though, there's no angles. If it wasn't GenG, if this was like DK that somehow got themselves in this position, I'm like, they'll find a way. But it's GenG. Yeah. GenG does not lose from these positions.
Jesus.
But how could they when they have a
Corki damage still crazy even without Eclipse.
Really, the hardest thing now is...
Oh boy, he's just going for it, man. He's just Valkyrieing forward, looking for kills. He's like, 4 is not enough. And yeah, I mean, T1 desperate to just try to get anything, but they are going to lose this inhibitor as GenG storm through the front gates. They get the mid-inner as well. And
Faker splitting, guys.
I mean,
don't worry.
At this point, Faker just going to try to TP in, but it is maximum desperation as Keen's going to get that knock up here onto Faker. He's in a bit of trouble. As 1v5 is doing more damage.
Man, Canyon has been so good on these engages this game, guys. Canyon has been so fucking good on this rel.
GenG gonna win this game in 27 minutes.
No deaths!
It's over. No deaths. 12 kills.
Just 1 grub and 2 towers is the only thing that T1 did this game. I can't even remember the last time they lost a game without getting a single kill in it, T1. So crazy. Damn.
GG as GenG take the first win in excellent fashion.
Oh,
that was one-sided, guys. They got onated. Damn.
Maybe GenG is the problem. That was with T1 on blue side as well.